Hello, bonjour, Savan. How are we today? It is Tuesday, January the 7th, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the frozen shores of Lake Huron. It is really super nippy here today. It usually isn't this cold. It's reminiscent of Barrie again. I don't know what's going on here with the weather. But we are definitely in the midst of winter here. Coming on today, I keep hearing about give practical advice for living on the planet. So this has to do with us maneuvering ourselves in 3D, this avatar. I'll call this physical body, or temple, our avatar, the vehicle. I always hear it as a vehicle. The vehicle that we ride around in on this earthly plane. This is about beginning to learn to see who we can be. We already can see what we are in the now, but there is a future planning system here. It's about delving into our prime directive timeline so that we can appear here with more strength than what we viewed ourselves before. So, when we came in, when we incarnated into this vessel of light, and we started to proclaim our existence here, why we are here, what our mission is, we start working with other people, synchronicities of thought, different soulmates come in and out of our lives. All of these interesting pieces of the puzzle that make up us and you and everybody else. We start to understand there's a master plan to it. It's not so random as, others who would like to control us would like us to think. There is a system of light to this, and it is a master plan, if you want to call it that. I think that's the best word at the moment I'm hearing in language to give to us today. So if you have your own master plan, it's like a template or a blueprint, we can call it that as well. We're projecting that off into the future, like a future timeline. In other words, a creative wave timeline by our thoughts and emotional base. As we are juxtapositioning ourselves, we're projecting ourselves into a future moment of time where we see ourselves. It's like a vision. We see ourselves doing certain things with certain people off in the distance in the sometime future. It's the now time, but it's also the future time because this is linear thought being projected forward, is how I'm hearing to explain it to us today. Because there's more than just what's going on in our little time capsule. There is more stuff going on outside of our little time capsule. We are coming to the point of needing to realize that there is much more to us than just this little wee physical body. We have certain projections of ourselves from higher dimensional thought waves that are out in future timelines. We can coordinate with those timelines or not. That's a choice point. We decide, are we going to continue on with these thoughts and thus create them or not? So now is our time. Now is our junction point time where we make a decision. Do we want to come on to our true ascension timeline and bypass these older timelines? Or do we want to just stay put? This is a big decision. It's yours to make. Nobody can make this for you. It's kind of sort of like a life or death situation. Do I make the choice to move into this new higher light frequency time zone area or not. It's kind of like we're all Doctor Who from the BBC show, the Time Traveler, the Time Lord, Doctor Who. Gets in his little blue police box and he just zooms, spirals all over in time and space, in and out of time and space, all over the place. He knows all the beings out there and all the planets, and he knows everything about everybody. He's one of the, I'm hearing it as propagators of higher truth and higher light. So he had a little something to do with keeping the time, regulated. So we're kind of sort of like that. We can extend our versions of ourselves out from the past to the present to the future in alignments of higher spirit light thought. Because again, you're going to hear us say this probably every video. You are what you think. Your thoughts create your reality. Nobody else is doing this for you. It's nobody else's fault. You're nobody's victim. If you want to play that game for a while until you wake up, that's fine. But it's time now. It's way past time to wake up. So wake up. This is your wake-up call. Wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up. Time to see yourself for who and what you are, where you're from, and where you're going. You aren't just this little vehicle. You're way more. You're much more. There are so many different varieties of beings on your world, on your planet. It's not just the humans. There are a lot more. So there are our starlight beings. There are many beings from past timelines, as well as future timelines, as well as the now, present moment. These beings come in and out of avatars. This is my avatar, this Cynthia appearance. This is my avatar as a spirit light being. This is the one I chose, decided it would be the best one for doing what I came here to. It had the highest possibility of creating what I wanted to create here. So with this particular formation of thought, I have created many, many nuances and new ways of being for myself, as well as for others. Because however we think, act, talk, behave, project, we are affecting those around us. We can affect them in a positive or a negative way, but affect them we do. There are many beings whom I see here as highly functioning, powerful beings of higher light. And then there are those who are not. They're very low. They're coming from off-worlds that they're I think the kindest way I can say this is they're not very nice. I think that's as kind as we can be here. They're not highlight. They're very low, and they have very destructive capabilities and capacities within their light cell energy frequency bodies of light. As I've said before to you many times, when I look at someone's avatar, I am seeing how much light and how much dark they are carrying. This has nothing to do with skin color, okay? It's unfortunate I have to say that, but that's said, okay? It has to do with your light quotient, your energy bodies. How much light do you carry? How much dark do you carry? It's a percentage. And if certain people are carrying a very low, limited amount of light, it's not something that I like being around. it's difficult for me. I can be around them, and I do from time to time choose to help them raise their limited expressions of their lower light up so that they will feel better, so that therefore the whole planet will feel better. But I can only do that in small doses. Maybe some of you can do it more than I can, but I'm finding I have less and less patience for that, for offering my services for that. This is about setting boundaries. When you see those beings of lower light, and they can come from many different off-worlds, it's all different kinds here. Don't be fooled by what you're seeing as a physical avatar. It's not what they may be inside. Kind of think of Men in Black. You know those movies? It's kind of you're thinking this person is this when they're that. Yeah. Nothing to be afraid of. We are who we are here. But many times we do get fooled or tricked by these other beings of light. And this is where we learn our spiritual lessons and we grow from it. But we learn to set boundaries. The Spirit said right from the beginning to me, there is no such thing as privacy, only boundaries. So you set your boundaries. Okay, I agree to spending this much time with you and no more. Or you can associate with me in this capacity, but nothing else. So you set those boundaries. You can be strict with them, or you can just say, I don't want any contact with you at all. And we get to that point sometimes, don't we? I just have gone through that this past fall. I had to totally, completely cut out a few people from my life because I just can't take it anymore. The more we come up in frequency, the less able we can put up with this in 3D. In higher reaches, of course, we can tolerate anything and everything. But in 3D, it gets harder. It's the nails on the chalkboard are sounding a lot louder and a lot screechier. And it grates on the nerves, on the central nervous system. And even though you dearly want to help these people, you realize that they don't want help. So at that point, the only thing left to do is to withdraw your energy from them. Hopefully they will learn and grow spiritually and overcome, but that is their choice. There's nothing you can do about it. So we hold the space, as we call it. We hold the frequency of light. We wish them well. We mean that. And we hold that high space of, yes, I think that there is a possibility that they can do better, they can reach more, that they're willing to try, they want to. And if not, they'll continue on and they'll cycle again and again and again until they end up to where their prime directive states that they are supposed to be. So we're in prime directive time right now. We're on the ascension timeline for those of us willing to make the leap, the jump, a leap of faith. That's what I'm seeing. So many more of us are now coming on board with this. We're starting to love ourselves more. We're starting to see the angelic core. We're starting to love each and every one of us more. So it's a transition of thought. Our thought waves become more tangible. They become creations. And they're creations of our own mind. So create well. Everybody will be affected by your creations. So create something wonderful for all of us. so we can all join in and raise the frequency of the planet light as well as each one of us. There is a collective base to all of this. So the spirit light beings are showing you a different way, a new way, a higher way, a lighter, brighter way. It's a possibility now. Whereas before it was kind of shutter closed down. Your planet, your world was off limits to so many other beings. And now the doorways, the patterning of higher thought, it's coming in so that we can create more visibly with each other. And we can see and process the higher thoughts and the higher thought waves coming online. So we're creating a new genetic spine of time. This is our time. And this is our new wavelength, our divine wavelength of time, which we've talked about for years with you now. But the spirit light team, our sunlight beings, the central sunlight beings, who are giving us this information today, along with the angelics, the specific sunlight beings are saying that it's time to overcome your fears of being less than, not good enough, that you're a poor little victim. That's not coming from your power. That's not coming from the central sunlight beings. They are a powerful force in your universe. And they basically rule what goes on in this quadrant of space. So learn from their advice. It's good advice. It's sound advice. It helps you to rise up. It doesn't hold you down. It doesn't hold you back. It doesn't turn off your light. It turns on your light. And there is literally a switch on the left-hand side of the brain that comes on when you power up and you start thinking in higher ways. It's a biological significant trait that was built within us. So when we're born, it snaps on, or it can be cut off. So we're generating more light now from the greater central suns of light beings to incorporate these higher lights within the light cellular angular bodies of light. That's what gives you your respite. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We're speaking to you from our higher oversight, which is, of course, the angelic light. Right. So the transmissions of thought come through varying degrees of light. That's how it works. Things get stepped down. So the higher solar beings, the central beings of light, transmit these telepathic messages. The angelic light beings pick it up and transmit it down into this avatar in the lower dense reaches of time. Anyway, I don't think, is there anything else? No, not today. That's enough of a message, of the messages for today. All right. So blessings, everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. Blessings on your journey into your higher light. Ask who your higher light beings are, who work with you and help you and transmit thoughts to you. Ask them to help you to overcome any fear that you may have in starting up conversations with higher light. We definitely don't want to tune into the lower beings of the lower light. We only want to tune into the higher beings of the higher light, because they are the ones who give us great delight. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. All right. If you wish to book an appointment with us, you can go to the website, www.healingourenergy.ca. Book your appointment there today. All right. Bye.